Have you ever wondered how your daily habits affect your brain and body? Well, some everyday seemingly harmless habits can actually cause some small but lasting brain damage effects. Replacing these harmful habits for positive ones will help prevent these damaging effects while keeping your brain happy and healthy. Welcome back, Psychos. Today we'll be discussing 10 brain-damaging habits. Make sure to stay until the end, where we talk about the most important and most common brain-damaging habits we need to avoid. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Number 1. Working when sick. When our mind and body are overworked, our immune system drops, which then makes us more susceptible to catching the common cold or something else that makes us feel not up to par. Our body does this to signal to us that it's time to slow down and take a break with our busy lives. So when we go against our body's suggestions of slowing down and taking it easy by working despite the fact of feeling under the weather, you're running the risk of causing more damage, most specifically to the brain and its efficiency. The main reason behind these temporary damaging effects is due to the increase in stress that is added to the brain and the body that are already overworking to combat the cold or infection. In other words, take the time that your body is desperately begging you for to minimize adding extra stress to your body and brain. Number 2. Covering your head while sleeping. This is an interesting one because it only affects a small amount of people. However, for the people it does affect, it can be a difficult habit to get rid of. People have all different sorts of sleeping preferences, but for the ones that like to sleep with a pillow over their face or with a blanket over their head, they can be particularly in need of a new sleeping arrangement. People often prefer this sleeping position to block out extra light and sound, yet they don't realise that they are minimising the amount of oxygen that they are sending to their brains in the process. Sleeping with your head covered can increase the concentration of carbon dioxide, resulting in decreasing the oxygen supply in the blood. When the blood oxygen is poor, it can reduce proper brain functionality capacity. Plus, this will decrease your chances of falling into a deep sleep, leaving you tired and fatigued throughout the day. Number 3. Skipping breakfast. Skipping breakfast has been a long debate with doctors and specialists for decades. Some say it's the most important meal of the day, while others advise intermittent fasting. According to Dr. Rashita Nasia from MDindia.com, the brain requires pure glucose in order to function properly. Therefore, when we decide to skip breakfast and go on with our busy day, our brain definitely takes a hit. Poor sugar and nutrient supply to the brain can increase brain fogginess, increase stress, and can even affect the brain's ability to signal the production of important hormones and chemicals. Prolonged habits of poor nutrients to the brain can also have a long-term harmful effect, such as the degeneration of brain cells. Number 4. Overeating. Our brain and the rest of our body receives the majority of its essential nutrients through what we eat. However, too much of anything is bad, and the same goes with food. Overeating can cause some damaging effects to the brain in various ways. Some people actually tend to overeat because their brain is not functioning normally, in the sense that it's not sending the proper hunger cues and signals of being full, and then in turn, overeating can cause further negative effects on the brain. Overeating can cause the restriction of blood through the blood vessels due to plaque deposits. Just like arteries to the heart, reduced blood supplying to the brain can then cause serious damage to the brain, resulting in faster degradation, leading to diseases like Alzheimer's. Number 5. Lack of exercise. Although you may think that exercise only affects the muscles you're physically exercising, it actually helps build the most important muscle in our bodies, our brain. Exercise is good for the body, brain and soul. Not only does adequate exercise have the opposite effect on the brain and body as overeating, but exercise is also good for mental well-being. Low exercise habits can cause a decrease in the brain stability and motor skills. Numerous studies have also shown that exercise can help keep us physically and mentally younger because the release of happy hormones and endorphins. These hormones also make it easy to be happy and less stressed in our day-to-day lives, which is a key factor to the maintenance of proper brain health. Number 6. Lack of socialization. Socialization is a primal instinct for humans and many other species. Socializing includes listening to other people's ideas, making decisions, sharing opinions, and actively expressing yourself, which are all said to encourage the development and growth of the brain and personality. Socializing can help us increase creativity and intellect by learning new concepts and views of important topics. In fact, the lack of communication can increase feelings of loneliness, low self-esteem, depression, and social anxiety, which can cause increased damaging stress on the brain and the body. Not having anyone to communicate with is one of the main causes of depression, and depression is one of the main causes of brain degeneration, so you can see the relation. Number 7. Over-consuming alcohol. As we mentioned, too much of anything isn't good for you. Alcohol is no exception. Although it can make you feel powerful and invincible, overconsumption of alcohol can have a direct impact on the proper function of the brain. Studies have shown that overconsumption of alcohol in adolescents, teens and young adults aged 17 to 25 can have a lasting impact on the hippocampus, the part of the brain that controls learning and memory. When our brains are fully developed, overconsuming alcohol decreases brain volume, causing chemical imbalances. Alcohol usually has the power to cross the blood-brain barrier, affecting the brain's neurons directly. According to the alcoholrehabguide.org, these neurons can be severely damaged or even killed off by overexposure to alcohol. Number 8. Smoking cigarettes. It's not surprising that cigarettes cause some form of damage to the brain, due to the 40+ chemicals that are added to the tobacco. The fear of smoking is usually put on the fact that it can be damaging to the heart and lungs, but consequently the brain is impacted just as much. Cigarette smoke actually leads to shrinkage of multiple different cells in the brain, which are known to lead to degenerative disorders like Alzheimer's and dementia. Not only that, but excessive smoking is also said to cause neuroinflammation, which can cause autoimmune disorder such as multiple sclerosis. Cigarettes also play a huge role in the production of hormones like dopamine, causing an immediate increase when consuming tobacco, and then a dramatic drop that leads you to need more, hence the difficult addiction that comes with them. Number 9. Lack of brain stimulation. Brain stimulation is what exercise is to muscles. Stimulating the brain with things like thinking, reading, puzzles, meditation, socializing, and so forth actually creates new pathways in the brain, which is known to decrease chances of brain degeneration. In other words, brain stimulation is the antidote to a lot of the brain-damaging habits we have mentioned. Therefore, lack of brain stimulation has a direct link to the decrease in brain function. With little to no stimulation, you can think of your brain as a couch potato, unwilling and uninterested to do anything that will benefit it and its growth. Number 10. Stress-inducing mindset. The mind and the brain are different entities, yet go hand in hand. The mind effects on the brain can be seen clearly when talking about the topic of chronic stress. The mind is the one to blame for causing the majority of the stress we cultivate. However, our brains are usually the ones to pay for it. While stress itself is natural, prolonged and chronic stress can cause a buildup of cortisol in the brain, which can have long-term damaging effects. According to multiple studies, chronic stress can cause the shrinkage actual shrinkage of the brain and killing of brain cells. In particular, stress has shrinking effects on the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain that's most responsible for learning, memory, and focus, while increasing the size of the amygdala, which makes the brain more receptive to stress. Finding ways to reduce stress is one of the best things anyone can do to optimize their health. And that's everything for today's Psychos. Let us know in the comments below if you have some of these habits and what you're going to do to stop them. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more Psycho videos. We hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one.